You don't have to try. You walked into that one, too.
We're not recording, are we? I now call to order the City Council meeting of City of Baytown and Municipal Development District joint meeting on Thursday, February 12th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. in the Council Chamber, City Hall. An announcement of quorum at 6:37 p.m. We will now have pledge and invocation given by Council Member Sarah Graham, District 2. Sarah, you have the floor.
Yes, I just wanted to announce that we have three special guests. Our youth in the community have gone through a lot, and there's three that have really persevered and stood out in many different ways, and so I invited them tonight. And we're going to have Aiden Ramirez from GCM, if you'll come up to the podium, with Rocio Favela for our prayer, and you can join him. And Ann Lee Dixon is also here that'll be doing our U.S. pledge.
Real quick. Aiden is also a member of the Citizens for Stronger Education.
Yes, and Aiden is also a member of Citizens for Stronger Education.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Dear Lord, I thank you for the opportunity to come together and be able to pray for our community. I ask that you lay your hands on our town and protect us from the evil in the world. Lord, as you provide us safety and comfort in this hard and difficult time. Please give our city leaders the wisdom to guide our town. We thank you for all that you have done for everyone here, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Start off with citizen comment. Has anyone signed up to speak? The purpose of citizen comment is to give all interested citizens the right to express their views. Everyone desiring to speak should have either signed the appropriate list in a foyer or emailed the city clerk prior to the posted time of this meeting. Each citizen shall give his or her name and address in order to provide a proper record of these comments. The rules allow each person 1 minute to speak. A citizen may pass his or her time to another person who has requested to address council. However, no citizen's remarks shall exceed 3 minutes in total. Either the 1 minute or the 3 minute limit may be extended by a majority vote of council. I encourage everyone to be as brief and to the point as possible. Please keep in mind council cannot discuss or deliberate on items for which public notice has not been given on this agenda. Mr. John Isaacs, please state your address for record.
John Isaacs, 5410 Bow Boulevard. Howdy, folks. I know I've been absent from here because of health issues, which are hopefully over at this point. I want to talk about, we've got primaries coming up on elections. We need to get everybody out to vote, whether you're Democrat or you're Republican. We just need to get out and show and vote. There have been some changes, though. We've got new District 9, which has come in and caused some rearranging of precincts. Councilman Powell, I talked to him earlier and explained to him that part of his, like Chaparral Village, is now part of 386, which I believe was 414 before. So let's get the word out that everybody needs to start voting next Tuesday, early voting, and then on March 3rd, we have election day. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I know we don't answer back, but we do now have the library that's open, so the community center will not be a voting location, correct? for the primaries. So it'll be at the library.
Thank you. There being no one else desiring to speak, I now close this section, the public comment section of this agenda. On to 2A, receive the Hyatt Regency Baytown Houston Annual Audit Report for fiscal year 2023 and fiscal year 2024. Ms. McKenzie.
Good evening. Is it on? Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm happy to announce that we're finally presenting the first audit for the Hyatt Regency Baytown for FY23 and 24. A part of the delay was trying to find a CPA firm that specializes in hospitality, because that's per the indenture that we have to have a firm that does that. And in addition, as you know, it takes months to complete an audit, so we're happy to say that we're presenting two. And then after this one, they will proceed to work on the FY25. And Jason Fellows from Reuben Brown is here to present the audit for us.
Thank you, Teresa. Good evening, all. My name is Jason Fellows. I'm an audit partner with Reuben Brown. We are a national CPA firm specializing in working with cities, counties, local governments, real estate, and my specialty is hospitality. I've been practicing for over 25 years. I'm based in Denver, but work with clients nationally. So, as Teresa indicated, we completed our audit February 3rd for the 2023 period. The hotel opened in May of 2023, as you all know, and then the year ended September 30th, 2024. The audit was conducted in accordance with the U.S. Generally Accepted Auditing Standards, which are the professional standards that we follow. And these are the required communications that are established by those standards. Our audit opinion, pleased to report, is a clean opinion. It does have two emphasis matters, but it is a clean opinion. Relative to the qualitative aspects of the audit, management is responsible for preparing the financial statements. We are responsible for auditing the financial statements. The financial statements are prepared in accordance with the Hotel Services Agreement. U.S. GAAP, those are the accounting rules that most entities follow. The Hotel Services Agreement mirrors GAAP, but does not follow GAAP exactly. In this case, the main difference is that the owner accounts, so the hotel itself and the debt are excluded, and the financial statements that we audited are the revenue, expenses, cash, receivables, so the working capital items related to the hotel. So there were no transactions during either period, 23 or 24, for which there was not authoritative guidance. There were no out-of-period transactions. There were no instances where there were alternative accounting practices where we could have gone one way or the other, and there were no unusual transactions that were noted during our audit. Relative to significant estimates, in the case of hotels, it's very common for there not to be significant estimates. That was the case for the Hyatt. Relative to the significant disclosures, this relates to the footnotes. The hotel's basis of accounting, as I said, follows the Hotel Services Agreement. So, as I said, it excludes the property and equipment and the debt, but otherwise conforms with GAAP. So that is one significant disclosure. The hotel suffered hurricane damage, as I think you all know, last year, and I think there is currently investigation as to the how that's going to be remedied. So that was the second significant disclosure. The third disclosure is, I know you all are aware, the hotel continues to require financial support from the district to service its debt, and that is the third significant disclosure. Relative to corrected and uncorrected misstatements that we identified through the audit, so this was a first-time audit for 23 and 24, as I said. So it's common for there to be audit adjustments identified, and we identified audit adjustments for both periods, and there were some minor uncorrected adjustments. Relative to the 2023 adjustments, the yellow column are the figures, the summarized figures that we started with, and so and as you can see, the the 4 white columns, we identified 4 audit adjustments that were recorded. The orange, if you will, shows the total of those 4 adjustments, and the green is the total adjusted. So the biggest adjustment is 23, is the one that I've identified as 23.2. In this case, the hotel recorded insurance expense. That was actually an owner expense as opposed to a hotel expense. So the hotel did expense that in their books. We corrected that through the audit. The second one was that the hotel also recorded insurance expense in 23, which related to 24. So we corrected those. 23-24 relates to the FF&E reserve, which is required under the the hotel services agreement. So there were 2 unadjusted differences, which related to accrued bonuses and outside labor, which were recorded during 23, which would have been recorded in 24. The total of those was $2,500, as you can see. So those were the unrecorded adjustments. For 2024, same format. Yellow is what we started with. Orange is where the total of the adjustments. The big adjustments in 24, 24-1, 3 and 4. There is a management fee that is payable by the hotel to the Hyatt. And in 23 and 24, the base fee had been correctly recorded, but the subordinated management fee had not been recorded. And so we corrected the financial statements to record that. 23-4 is the recording the $50,000 worth of insurance that we discussed previously. And 20-4 is the FF&E reserve, which again had not been recorded. I believe management is now recording those. And the unrecorded adjustments, again, those 2 adjustments in 24, the adjustments that we talked about from 23, this is the 24 effect. So as I said, in terms of our audit opinion, we had 2 emphasis of matters, which related to the other basis of accounting, the hotel services agreement, and also the requirement for the ongoing financial support. There were no matters that we consulted outside our engagement team. We had no difficulties dealing with management, no disagreements, and we're not aware that management consulted with other independent accountants. One other required communication, when we do our audit, we're required to communicate with management if we identify internal control weaknesses. There were a number of adjustments that were identified through the audit process. We considered those rose to what's called a material weakness, which means that the financial statements are possibly misstated given the internal controls. Management is aware of the issues that gave rise to those adjustments, and I believe are taking steps to correct those in future periods. That is the end of my presentation. I'm happy to answer questions, and my contact details are here as well.
Any questions or comments? None?
Mayor, I'll just state for the record, there's no additional money going out. Mr. Fellows, I forget what you called it on the debt support. That is known to the council, that's known to the MDD, that's known to the public. There's nothing new that came up through this piece or this process of the audit. Everything is standard as has been reported over the last few years at this point. We were aware of quite a few things. The insurance, I think, was brought to light in late 23 or 24 on how the hotel was how the hotel was calculating that on their statements. And staff had asked them to correct that because we noticed that how they were calculating it should not have been that way. So this has been known to staff. I do appreciate the in-depth look that Mr. Fellows has done on this. This is a very thorough report, and I do appreciate everything that you've done here. But staff is happy with the report.
Yeah, kind of appreciate all the work y'all done. I know it's not easy to come in and audit all this stuff, and appreciate everything doing. And I kind of see that in September 23 we had a net loss of $1,004,000, And in 24, we had a net loss of 464, so
Yes.
headed in the right direction. Not where we want to be, but it looks like we're headed in the right direction. That's a big change. I mean, from 1,000,004 to just negative -1,004 to 4.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Just have a comment. Again, I'm going to stress, the hotel opened May of 2023, so it's hadn't been open a full 3 years yet, and we've got a clean audit, and that's very important. There's always hiccups in little things you'll find in an audit, but a clean audit, the city itself gets clean audits, and that's difficult, and work hard to do that. So great to our finance team, and I appreciate your efforts on it as well. So it has been open 3 years, in the right direction for revenue and a clean audit. We're doing well, folks.
That's right. I have one question, and I think staff may be able to answer this. Based off of what we projected, where the hotel was projected to be when it comes to profit, how are we ahead of schedule?
So that is Mr. Franco, if you don't mind me hitting back like you hit me with my run. The net loss is there, but we need to also understand like some of that's built into how the contract was already agreed to when this already started. Mayor, to directly answer your question, yes, we are doing well. There was a ramp up period for the hotel that the MDD board and council knew was going to take place for a number of years, 5 to 7 years to start ramping up. It was a little slower in 23 and 24 than we had anticipated. We are seeing very good growth this year. We had our first $1 million month in December. That is fantastic. We are at a point where the city, or where the MDD, or the hotel, is covering its operational expenses plus. It is now contributing towards paying the debt. We are projected to pay less than $500,000 less than what we did last year for the same debt payments. And so that shows that the revenue is coming in over the expenses, and the hotel is doing a very good job controlling the expenses. And we are starting to see repeat business for years out at this point. So just to answer your question.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
And I'm going to chime in, Mayor. When this got started with the hotel, we knew as an MDD and a council that we looked at 3 to 5 years for the hotel to start covering its operational costs.
Right.
It's not even 3 years yet, and we're there. So we're on the right track. It just takes time to establish that size of a hotel with a conference center and get it up and running and rock and rolling, and it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. So I appreciate the audits. Hope next year will be the same one, Teresa. Make sure it's the same clean type audit, and we'll have even better numbers next year. So again, kudos to the team. Kudos to us for having the vision to stick it out and make this thing happen. It's been, Lauren, you've been on a long time. It's been talked about since before I got here in '99. So we're actually seeing it come to fruition, and that's tremendous.
Yeah, it was actually being talked about when I was a junior in high school. I'm not going to say what year that was, but it was a long time ago. So yeah, it's encouraging to see that it's performing better sooner than what we thought. And just being there the last 2 weekends, I happened to walk through, and 2 weekends ago, I was told that the convention area had the most people it's ever had in 3 years, and it was 788 women in one room. That's amazing. It was fun. And then last weekend, there was actually a dance competition. I picked in on it, and it was people everywhere. So thank you again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will now move on to 3A, consider approving the minutes of the City Council work session and regular meetings held on December 11th, 2025 and January 8th, 2026. I need a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 4, We will now go into public hearings. The public hearing today is being held for the purpose of giving all interested persons the right to express their views regarding the subject of the public hearing. Everyone desiring to be a part of today's hearing should have either signed the appropriate list in the foyer or emailed the city clerk prior to the posted time of this meeting. Each participant shall give his or her name and address in order to provide a proper record of this hearing. The rules allow each person 3 minutes to present information. However, I encourage everyone to be as brief and to the point as possible. If you are a group of persons wishing to address the council on the same subject, please select a spokesperson to present the information, and if anyone has any questions, please direct them to me. 4A, conduct a public hearing concerning a request to amend the official zoning map by rezoning approximately 6.59 acres of land located on the south side of East Freeway Interstate 10 East and west of North State Highway 146 at 9900 East Interstate 10, Baytown, Texas 77523, from open space recreation to general commercial zoning district. It is now 6:58 p.m. and I call to order this public hearing concerning a request to amend the official zoning map by rezoning approximately 6.59 acres of land located on the south side of East Freeway Interstate 10 East and west of North State Highway 146 at 9900 East Interstate 10, Baytown, Texas 77523, from the open space recreation to general commercial zoning district. I would like now to request staff to summarize the subject of this public hearing. Mr. Scribner.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. For the record, Martin Scribner, Planning Development Services. So as mentioned, this is a rezone request from open space recreation to general commercial, about 6.5 acres on the south side of I-10, just west of 146, west of the Chambers Commons area there as well. As you can see on the aerial, it is 2 properties right next to one another. One of those properties currently has a trucking accessories and sales type retail business. The other property is vacant at the moment. You can see that when this was annexed, this stayed open space recreation. This is the current zoning map. You can see that it's surrounded by general commercial. There's a strip of open space recreation to the east, which is, there's an easement there. There's no building happening. And then to the west is the purple is heavy industrial. The future land use map does show the entire area as large scale commercial with that industrial there to the west. And so the proposed zoning would look like this. Basically, it would kind of fill in the gaps there with the red, making all of that area general commercial. The main intent of the property owner now is to expand that business and continue to run that at that location. As you can see, here's the business that's there now. It's a truck superstore. And then this is kind of facing east at the same property. This request went to Planning and Zoning Commission in January. There was no testimony against the request. Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval. And that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions or comments? No.
And on the agenda tonight, the ordinance itself is actually item 5B instead of, so that, okay.
Okay, I see that. All right, good deal. We have anyone sign up to speak? There being no one else desiring to speak, we now close this public hearing at 7:01 p.m. And as mentioned, we are going to take 5A and B out of order. We're going to move 5B up and consider an ordinance authorizing a request to amend the official zoning map to rezone approximately 6.59 acres of land located on the south side of East Freeway Interstate 10 East and west of North State Highway 146 at 9900 East Interstate 10, Baytown, Texas 77523, from the Open Space Recreation Zoning District to General Commercial Zoning District. I need a motion.
Move to approve 5B.
Second.
All in favor?
Question, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I know y'all probably already did this, but I was looking at their application and it says, the building was under construction when the city annexed the property, and so by rezoning, it'll bring it to, it'll be a conforming zoning use. So will that qualify it to receive a waiver on their fees, their applications, since we're now rezoning it to?
If they were part of that 2017 annexation, then yes, they'd be a
Okay,
part of
I
it.
don't know when it was annexed, it just said it was annexed.
Yeah, I'd have to check into, I don't know the specifics of that. I do know that they were already operating the business when they were annexed, which is why they have the business there now.
Okay.
And so in order to expand, they have to do the rezone to bring it into
Okay,
conformity.
if we could just look into that and if they qualify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good deal, thank you. Need a second?
Oh, we already did.
have it? Oh, good deal. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now look at 5A, consider an ordinance authorizing a payment in lieu of taxes pilot agreement between the City of Baytown and Morel Properties LLC. Mr. Moran.
Hello, Mayor and Council. Brian Moran, Economic Development. The proposed pilot agreement before you is between the city and Morel Properties. The property is located within the Bay 10 Business Park and Chambers County Improvement District number 3 off of Kilgore Parkway and State Highway 99. Because the site is within the city's limited purpose annex area, it isn't subject to our standard property taxes. However, the city does hold a stake in the covenants, conditions, and restrictions for the property. These do require that any developer that does produce a project in value over $1 million enter into a pilot agreement with the city. As long as we are in and continued with a strategic partnership agreement with the Chambers County Improvement District number 3. Based on our current tax rate and value of the existing property, we do anticipate adding around $15,000 to the city's tax revenues. It's also important to note, as the building does come online, we do anticipate revenues increasing over time as the improvements are added to the tax rolls. The property does have to comply with all city drainage, flood control, and building codes. However, we're not obligated, or the city is not obligated to provide regular municipal services such as police, fire, to this property during the term of the agreement. And then I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anything? Yes, sir.
Council, I'd just like to add that I placed before you a revised copy of the ordinance. After the agenda was posted, we did notice that there was an incorrect name on the ordinance, so we've corrected that, and that's what's before you right now.
Thank you. Everyone's good with that? Okay. I need a motion.
Move to approve 5A.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. On to 5C. Thank you, Mr. Moran. Consider an ordinance amending Chapter 94, Traffic and Vehicles, Article 4, Specific Street Regulations, Section 94-121, Schedules enumerated of the Code of Ordinances to authorize the installation of stop control modifications on Manor Drive at Square Drive. Squire Drive. Good catch.
I know the street pretty well.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As an introduction, my name is Sharon Valiant. I am your interim Public Works Director since Frank has retired and gone on to bigger and better things. I would like to introduce this item as a consideration for adoption of an ordinance that impacts the Chapter 94 Traffic and Vehicles. This is an ordinance to consider the installation of stop signs on two different streets, Manor Drive and Squire Drive. The analysis was performed by our city engineering department, our division, excuse me, and the criteria used to determine the recommendation was done in alignment with what we call the Texas Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices. That is a standard document or set of standards that is used by cities and counties throughout the state of Texas. The impact to the budget is about $330 to install these stop signs. The item was taken to Planning and Zoning in January, and the commission has approved the recommendation. I do have Juan Macias here, who is our city engineer, in case you have any questions.
Dale, any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank the city manager and staff for bringing this forward. I mean, Manor Drive has been a nightmare freeway for those who live in Country Club Manor. So I appreciate y'all bringing this, looking into this for me and getting this done. And these stop signs, I think it will help out because it's going to be it's the first street if you're coming off of Garth. When you fly down Ross at 45 to 60 miles an hour, you're now going to have to come to a stop. And there's 3 more stop signs before you get to the end. This does help with the traffic in there because I know the citizens have been concerned about that, wanting speed bumps, and you can't get them. But this does help out because there's a public crossing there for the sidewalks, and it does have a really bad blind spot there. So this will help out, and I appreciate moving forward this. And I know I talked to Juan about it. We've talked about it, so I appreciate y'all bringing this forward and getting this done.
Welcome.
I know my district received a lot of stop signs, and for a community that was begging to have them, and then they see all these people running the stop signs, there is a kind of a time frame where the police department will give them leeway, and then after that it's like, hey, these aren't new anymore, so just keep that in mind make sure your residents know, because you will get calls, as I did, and I was like, look, they have a little bit of a short window to get used to the stop signs. And
Oh, I know, there's been multiple cars that have been hit and run down that road.
yeah,
You know,
I go down that road.
you better be doing 30.
You're on one tonight, man. Okay, anything else? Good deal. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I think you're going to hang out up there for a moment, huh?
I am.
5D, consider an ordinance amending Chapter 94 Traffic and Vehicles, Article 4, Specific Street Regulations, Section 94-121, Schedules enumerated of the Code of Ordinances to authorize the installation of stop control modifications. Why can't we just put stop signs? On North Jones Street at West Morrell Avenue, on North Gaylord Street at West Morrell Avenue, West James Avenue, West Jack Avenue, West Lobbett Avenue, West Adu Avenue, and Marion Street on 11th Street at Marion Street, and Ashbell Court at West Wright Avenue, and West Morrell Avenue, and North Ashbell Street at West Wright Street Avenue, West James Avenue, West Jack Avenue, West Lobbett Avenue, West Adu Avenue, and Marion Street, and West Wright Avenue at North Gaylord Street, on West Morrell Avenue at North Ashbell Street, on West Honeycutt Avenue and North Gaylord Street, on West Commerce Street at West Fayette Avenue and Marion Street. That's a lot.
I'm so glad you read all of those
We need it
names,
one more
because I
time
was
for the
afraid I
record,
was
Mayor.
going to butcher them.
The whole
And I
west
won't
side.
repeat them since you read them all. But again, this is an ordinance for your consideration to install stop signs on all of these streets. And again, the analysis was done in accordance with the Texas Manual on Traffic Control Devices. It was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission in January, and again, it was approved, and the recommendation is there. The impact to the budget is $5,263 to install all of these stop control signs. I do have Juan here to go into a little bit more detail about why there are so many streets that were associated with this request. So I'd like to bring him up and let him talk to you about that a little bit.
Sounds good.
Good evening. Juan Macias with Public Works and Engineering. This initially started as a analysis, evaluation of one intersection. But part of when we do look at the stop signs, we have to look at the surrounding areas. And it just kind of kept growing until we were able to get to a good stopping point that there were existing stop signs and traffic signals, which made it into a very large project. So it did take us a good amount of time, a couple of months for us to be able to get there. And as mentioned, this was a request from the resident, and that's how we got here. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
I think you're going to talk. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just jog everybody's memory. It actually started, it was spearheaded by a resident in that area who had a child with special needs, and there were some concerns at the one intersection you're talking about. But just in my little over 3 years, this particular neighborhood, I've had several emails, lots of phone calls, and I just want to say that I am so thankful to the staff for continuing the study, being so diligent in this, and this is exciting, and it's a win for District 2, and that's one of the most densely populated areas for D2, so thank you very much for getting this done. And I think the residents probably would have agreed many years ago that the traffic study was going to show that those stop signs were needed, so thank you.
That's another result of the city listening to residents. I mean, we talked about a little bit of that during the work session with the bond, and it's encouraging to see that staff didn't just stop at the one intersection, but they took the time, put forth the effort to look at the area, and this is a result of it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and Juan said 2 months, but honestly, I thought for government, I thought that moved at lightning speed once, the attention was in that area. So I'm very appreciative, and I'm going to let the citizen that came and spoke at the meeting at the beginning of all of this know what her work did, because she was nervous to come in and speak, and so she'll get to see the works of all her effort. So thank you guys very much.
I just want to add something real quick. To my council member's point, it just goes to show that, we are councilors trying to listen to our citizens and how beneficial it is when you come up here and let us know what you're seeing and what's going on in the city, whether it's one person or it's two, like your voice matters. So I'm really pleased that this is happening. One person's causing, it led to staff to really evaluate that whole area and the safety of people driving in that whole area, just because one person said, instead of watching their television, to take a little time to come up to City Hall and let us know what you're seeing out there. So thank you, staff, for really looking at this and going through it with a fine-tooth comb, and looking forward for those citizens over there having a safer area to drive. So.
Okay, I need a motion.
Motion to approve item 5D.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 6A, consider a resolution nominating JSW Steel USA, Inc. to the Governor's Office of Economic Development for designation as a qualified business and an enterprise project under the Texas Enterprise Zone Program. Mr. Moran.
Yes, Mayor and Council, Brian Moran, Economic Development, and tonight, just a quick summary of the resolution nominating JSW Steel as an enterprise project under the state's Enterprise Zone Program. With this nomination, there are not any local tax abatements or incentives associated with this request. This nomination does allow JSW to apply for rebates for state sales and use tax to support their investment that they're proposing to make. They're anticipating making a $110 million modernization investment at the facility off of the East McKinney Road in Cedarport Industrial Park. This investment will enhance their operations to help them become one of the most advanced steel plate mills in the country, or it should say North America, and strengthen the company's long-term presence here in Baytown. As part of this program, the company does commit to retain its existing 490 full-time employees, which represents an annual payroll of around $46 million at their facility. In addition, they anticipate generating 10 new full-time jobs. I'd also like to recognize there are several members here from JSW, part of their leadership team, who are here to just demonstrate their commitment to Baytown, and I believe one of the representatives does have a few comments they would like to share with you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, esteemed council members. My name is Paul Spicker. I'm Vice President of Human Resources and an officer at JSW Steel. Our CEO, Robert Simone, would have liked to be here tonight, but he's a speaker at a steel conference in Tampa tomorrow, so I'm here in his place. We'd just like to thank you for your consideration of this motion. As I said, we have a team here that would like to answer any questions you have. I know the numbers that you just received as far as the head count were provided earlier. We've actually moved from 490 to 650 employees, and we have about 75 more that we have open positions that we're actively recruiting for. So with these improvements, we're anticipating a lot of growth and a lot of contributions to the local area.
Thank you. Questions or comments? I need a motion.
Motion to approve item 6A.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will move on to 7A, discussions. Discuss and take possible action regarding the City of Baytown Mayor Pro Tem. Has me listed there. Do we have any questions or comments about this process?
Mr. Mayor, I know in the past, we decided to go to this format where we're electing a mayor pro tem to serve for a year. I've been vocal about it in the past, and my feelings of it is that if anybody is serving up here on council, then that qualifies you. You're a duly elected official, and it qualifies you to serve as mayor pro tem. I feel that this process has done nothing but politicize a process that doesn't need to be politicized. I think we've wasted a lot of time rewriting this process. It's something I would like to look to go back to a rotation. I think a year for a council member to serve as mayor pro tem is a little extended. And I think it's not the best use of time. I think probably going to spend tonight. We've had some really important items. I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about an item that really doesn't move Baytown along forward, and really does nothing constructive for the city. So I'd like to hear from my colleagues, but I'm going to entertain going back to the old rotation. I'd like to entertain that. So, but I'd like to hear from my colleagues first and how they feel about it.
No, I mean, I would agree with you that I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it either. So I would just say I'm fine leaving it the way it is.
Yes, ma'am.
I know it was one of the originals that just wanted to stick to 6 months. I was asked earlier this evening, does 6 months work? And I'm like, yeah, it works, but the 1 year has worked as well. So I don't have any issues changing at this time.
I'll jump in there, and I agree with my colleagues. I really don't see it necessary to change at this point in time, but if we want to discuss it further, it was something we could put on the retreat and discuss it there and not take up time out of a council session. So I agree with all my colleagues, the comments, that it may be worthwhile having a discussion, open discussion.
but do we want to take, 30, 45 minutes? It took a while to get to this point last time we had this discussion. So would it be better to have an open discussion in depth at the retreat and then come back and take action on it after that, or we want to hash it out tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
I actually agree with everything on over. I liked the rotation. I thought it worked efficiently. I think the year has worked efficiently, but I do want to discuss it again, but not tonight. I would like to visit it at the retreat. And I just wanted to make a comment because he's asking for colleagues' input. So.
Do that. City managers indicated they can put it as an issue for us to discuss. And that way we can have some time to think about it between now and the retreat, and then have an open discussion at the retreat so that we can get
Yeah, that's fair.
get it all. Well, I agree with you. It won't hurt to have the discussion again, but not 30, 45 minutes tonight. And I think you're good with that.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
don't want to have
So, okay, we can put it on the retreat so we can, I guess,
a motion to table it.
to suspend it till after the retreat.
Well, I want to see if
Oh.
Mr. Frank will have.
I'm the youngest one here, I'm good. Whatever everybody wants to do.
You're the youngest?
I've been here the shortest term,
Oh, okay, okay.
2 years in.
I think that is the consensus after hearing from everyone, so we will table this until the second meeting in February. Give us an opportunity to talk about it at the retreat next week. Do I need to take a motion for that to table it?
No, sir.
All right, good deal. Well, that was quick. We are going on to consent agenda, and I'm going to pull 8F for discussion, but I need a motion for everything else.
Move to approve items 8A through O, except for F.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 8F, we have Ms. Marie Dronowski signed up to speak, and I'm just going to say you have 3 minutes. Please state your address for record.
Marie Dronowski, 4705 Burning Tree, Baytown, Texas. Mayor and council members, Country Club Oaks residents are very disappointed with your decision to grant a special use permit to a property 5111 Ashwood in our neighborhood. This decision directly impacts our community, yet none of the decision makers reside here. We respectfully request that 2 of our Country Club Oaks board members and/or residents be included on the committee responsible for drafting the regulations governing short-term rentals. Because we are directly affected by these decisions, we believe our input is necessary and appropriate. Additionally, we request that all short-term rental properties be subject to regular interior and exterior inspections by the health department to ensure cleanliness, proper plumbing, and functioning fixtures. We further ask that any SUP status be removed upon the sale of a property, returning it to standard residential status without any special use permit designation attached. For your clarification, your SUP approval granted the owners of 5111 Ashwood to operate not 1, but 2 rental units on a single property, the main house and a converted garage apartment. Thank you.
So, I just want to clarify some things. What were you asking? You were asking that if we have a committee that's going to decide what the regulations would be, you all are asking that 2 members from your neighborhood or HOA sit on that committee, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and what else was there?
That was the first one. Okay, that you have regular interior and exterior inspections by the health department
Okay,
to be sure of cleanliness, the proper plumbing, and functioning fixtures.
okay, and what else was there?
The third one was when the property is sold, that the SUP status is removed and the property becomes standard residential status like it was before.
Okay. Is that something we can discuss at the retreat also?
No, sir. It's something that Martin has planned to bring back to y'all as an ordinance consideration that that council will then have a discussion on with the ordinance based on the last information that y'all gave Martin when we considered this piece. There's not currently time to consider an in-depth ordinance discussion at the retreat, as is the agenda's already been posted for the retreat, or the retreat's already been posted, I should say. And so everything is already set for the time. The Mayor Pro Tem is a smaller discussion that can be on there. I think that this short-term rental will be a very lengthy discussion at this point. If there's another day that y'all want to schedule this for an extensive conversation,
Well,
we can do that.
If we have time at the retreat, can we discuss it? If we see that we do have time, is that something that we can discuss at that time?
We will have to repost, but at this point, you're looking at probably 3:30 to 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I really believe that this is something for Martin and his team.
That's correct.
To look at the ordinance. So we're not creating a committee to decide what the rules and regulations will be. Now, those are good considerations, but that's something for Martin and his team to go in and look at. And, once again, we cannot enforce your HOA rules and guidelines or your deed restrictions. That's something for y'all. That's state law, that we stick to the regulations that belong to us, which is why the ordinance was passed. But in terms of, offering guidance towards what's going to be on the ordinance, I felt that you just did that. And then having it on the record is what your recommendations would be. And then Martin and his team would go back as they're reviewing, because we have not solidified yet what the rules and regulations are yet.
Right.
That's what his team is doing.
I understand. That's why I mentioned these.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
because I remember when we had the SCP comment, part of that was that we were going to discuss with some of what our concerns were, what we wanted the ordinance to state. And I think, maybe even a work session might be something good that we can kind of, that way they're not going to come to something with council and then have to go back and redo it. Kind of give them the input that we're looking for before it goes through this process of, okay, let's come back again, then let's come back. Let's try to get it all down, what everybody here is concerned about and what our citizens are concerned about, so that Martin's team is coming back with one final big, beautiful thing.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Martin stepped up to the podium, so I know he's just dying to explain. Can you just explain to me what this ordinance is really trying to do
What's before you tonight?
before us tonight?
Scott will need to answer that.
Oh, Scott wanted to answer that. I could tell somebody was going, ooh, ooh.
This is merely to correct an oversight from staff. The ordinance caption did not get published by the Baytown Sun in time. So that is the only reason this is before you tonight.
Right. It's already passed. It's,
Yeah,
it's already
yeah.
valid. It's just,
Sort of say we already went through it. We just didn't put a posting time on it for an effective date, so we have to put an effective date.
It was there, it just didn't get done.
Okay.
So this is just
Okay, well, this is just a matter of cleaning things up.
cleaning things up.
Okay,
And-
got you.
And
Got
they're
you.
still gonna bring something forward to us at a later date.
We are planning to bring something forth. I felt that we got a lot of input and feedback from council when we had the hearing in December. But if there's a desire for a work session, we can do that. It's up to you. At this point, we hadn't planned on doing one. We were going to take draft ordinance to P&Z in March and then have that before you in April. But if, like I said, if you'd rather do a work session, we can do that. Right now, what we've done is we've gathered information from about 12 different cities around the region and around Texas that have a lot of experience with this. We've gone so far as to speak to the cities and talk to the planning directors, how they deal with it, what's good, what's bad, what they wish they'd done differently. So we're compiling that. We have compiled that information, and so we're now working that into something that will be workable not only for city council, for our citizens, for staff. Unfortunately, if we get into something that's very intensive in terms of those inspections and things like that, that's going to be something we have to discuss farming out to a third party because there just isn't staff to do that. So we're trying to find ways to get to a point where either we've got some workable solution for everybody that doesn't overstress staff.
And I understand and appreciate you getting input from other cities, but we're the city of Baytown, and our citizens want to have an insight on what's happening in their subdivisions. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I don't care what Dallas is doing. I don't care what Houston's doing. I don't care what League City's doing. I care about what Baytown wants. So I think we also need some input from our citizens and what they're wanting. And if it does have to go third party, then we charge whoever's getting that permit fee more money, and they pay the cost of it.
Ms. Mound.
Well, I mean, I disagree a little bit with that because I do care what other cities are doing because that's benchmarking and we do that all the time. So I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't, I mean, we don't have to follow what they're doing, but at least we're looking at what's happening. I'm okay not having a designated workshop for it. But my question is if, we always get an opportunity to have work session, ask questions about agenda items, and maybe it can be presented at our work session before a council meeting. But if we decide once he brings, because, you're obviously having to take it back to P&Z, but if we at that meeting decide, well, you know what, let's tweak this, let's tweak that, could we accept the agenda item with those amendments, or would those have to go back to P&Z and then come back to us?
I can answer that question, council member. You can do whatever you want after P&Z has held its public meeting and made a recommendation to you. So there's several ways we could do this. You could have a work session, as you suggested, before P&Z meeting, or
before council meeting.
I'm sorry, preceding P&Z's deliberation and discussion of the matter. Before P&Z meets, you all can have a work session if you'd like to provide sort of right and left parameters to staff. Or you could wait until after P&Z hears what staff brings to it, then have a work session, or not. You could take it up at deliberation at a regular council meeting. So those are your options.
And to be clear, sorry.
Go ahead.
To be clear, we we're doing this without a work session. Number one, because we felt we got good feedback. Number two, because there was a sense of urgency from City Council that night that we bring this back quickly, and that would have put us off a little bit more. So we wanted to go ahead and get this in front of you. Again, we can have the conversations about the specifics at the meeting, or we can do it beforehand. So I guess I wasn't real clear on which way you were headed with the work session or not a work session.
Yeah, well, I'm okay waiting. I mean, personally, I'm okay waiting to see what P&Z does with it, and after you present what ordinance or what kind of guidelines you want to set, and then it comes to us. And what I'm describing is just like today, we talk about something during the work session, and then said, do we have any other questions on any other agenda items? Then we can talk about, the ordinance before we get to the council meeting. So it's just standard procedure, what we do. So now what I'm hearing as well is that residents of that subdivision will still get an opportunity to go before P&Z when this is presented, and also provide feedback there. So any changes that are done after P&Z to incorporate, if at all, those recommendations, they can come back to us, it's presented, and they still have another opportunity to provide additional input. So I feel that there is an amount of time that they can give input and provide input. They can write to us, they can put it in emails. They don't have to be here at council, so we have that time to do that and reach out to those constituents. Those are just my opinions.
And we do gather comments online as well from our development projects page. So.
Got you. All right. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we are on to appointments.
Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I need to ask legal clarification on something on the item that we tabled. Because on item 7A, because we tabled that and we said we would discuss it, it was brought to our attention that the agenda's already been posted. So are we legally allowed to discuss this at the retreat if the agenda's already been
We're
posted?
going to repost it for the afternoon, the afternoon of the 19th.
We just have to have it in so many days beforehand.
I'm
We've
just
already-
making sure that
Yeah.
staff with all the things, that they're able to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We actually missed the date already because of the new law this
Yeah,
year.
that's-
We missed the date for the Wednesday portion, so it has to be the afternoon of the 19th now.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have the schedule memorized, so is that extending our retreat?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. We are on to 9A, appointments. Consider a resolution authorizing 3 appointments to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Scribner.
I'm just here to answer any questions about your nominations or the seats that are open.
So what we're doing right now, we didn't get anyone for District 3. We're going to consider District 3, ETJ, and District 5. You have comments?
Yeah, I spoke with Mr. Preet Singh since the last meeting to see if, not only if he's willing to serve, but if he will be able to make it to the meetings, which was an issue that he had in prior meetings. Not the whole time he was in those other meetings, I know, those other committees, rather. I know he served in the Fire Control District and the CDAC. And towards the end of his tenure there, he was having attendance issues. I had a long conversation with Preet. He assured me that he'll be able to attend those meetings. And if for some reason those issues change, then he will be communicating with me, and I can make the adjustment. I know Tracy Wheeler. She served faithfully with Planning and Zoning. There's no slight against her, but I wanted to give Mr. Singh the opportunity to serve on Planning and Zoning. He's been a pillar in this city, in this community. He's a businessman, and I think his expertise on that committee would be something that will be beneficial for Planning and Zoning and the city.
Okay. I need a motion.
Move to approve Preet Singh for Planning and Zoning.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. District 5.
I don't have a appointment at this time.
Okay. And as far as ETJ, Mr. Oscar Chapa, I think he'll be good, actually.
Mr. Chapa
not
is coming
in the
off of
ETJ.
Oh, he's coming off.
He's stepping down.
So we
need a new person.
You need to find an ETJ.
Okay,
We
so
didn't get any applications.
no applications? Well, we need to get the word out some more then. And,
We can go ask.
Hear another video.
yeah, I was actually watching that earlier. That was
Wait a
old.
minute. Why is it always the girls? You know, there's some guys over
Because we
there.
take the time to come up here and make the videos.
Oh, no, we didn't.
There.
Well,
Getting them
Jason,
back.
we do have plans to do a new one, but we're waiting for the new Brunson
I think
universe
Jacob and Mike will do it right now.
to be completed.
Y'all want to do anything?
Go for it, guys.
All right, good deal. We are moving on. We will now have manager's report, Mr. Jason Reynolds.
All right, Mayor and Council. It's been eventful tonight, and I would like to begin by recognizing our parks team for completing 5 safety trainings as part of their efforts to earn the TML Road Ready certification. This program promotes roadway safety and property protection. Once certified, our parks team will be one of only 2 park departments currently certified in the state. So thank you for your continued commitment to safety. Cornell, please pass that on. I think most of our people were at Traps today, right? Is that where a majority of them are at? Getting an award, right? Yeah. Anyways, also I want to recognize Joseph Holmes and Blanca Rubio from PWE. They were recently traveling to a conference when they witnessed a serious accident. Without hesitation, they relied on their first responder training and immediately assisted an elderly couple involved in the crash. Joseph climbed onto the damaged vehicle to help the occupants, while Blanca used a fire extinguisher to control smoke and minimize further risk. She also comforted and reassured the passengers until paramedics arrived. Their quick thinking, teamwork, and dedication to helping others reflects the highest standards of professionalism and public service. We are grateful for their courage and preparedness. And just want to say thank you. Those are the type of employees that we have out there, and thank you. And I'm sure the people that y'all helped are also very gracious, and glad you were there. So thank you. And I don't see Blanca, but please pass it on. PWE also competed in the TPWA State Equipment Rodeo, earning awards in the following categories: the mini excavator backhoe, 5th place David Kirkpatrick, 8th place Hector Alvarez; the women's mini excavator and backhoe, 1st place Ali Maz, 2nd place Nikki Swearingen, 3rd place Blanca Rubio; storm pipe cutting, 9th place Gerald Bryce, and the zero turn, 5th place David Kirkpatrick. So we've got some superstars in all of our departments. So please pass that on as well, and thank you. PDS inspectors Joseph, Alex, and Jose were recently recognized by a resident for their outstanding customer service. So great job, and thank you for everything that you do. Please pass that on as well. Love seeing the photos. Gabriela Gonzalez from the city clerk's office successfully graduated after completing the extensive 2-year coursework required to earn her certification from the Texas Municipal Clerks Association. Congratulations on this well-earned achievement. Before you move on real quick, I also want to recognize the clerk in the Saltgrass chapter. They held an event at the Public Safety Building yesterday. Was it yesterday? Goodness gracious, my time. It was yesterday, and it was fantastic to see city clerks from all over the region. I mean, all the way out to Humble and Cypress coming to Baytown. The mayor was there and spoke. And our own Jamie gave a presentation on I'm actually drawing a blank, Jamie, and I'm absolutely sorry right now, but serving with heart. As well as PD and Fire. I'm getting there.
Yes.
And PD and Fire lined the walkway in the road with balloons and like applause for all these clerks coming into Baytown. And then Gabby and Angie and their team, they decorated this place to the nines. It was just amazing to see, and the reception that was there. It's employees like this all over that we have here in Baytown, and they are here to serve, and they're here to help others, and it was fantastic to see. And I just want to say thank you to everybody involved, and thank you to the fire department, the police department, standing out there holding balloons and cheering everybody on. And just all of it was a heck of a presentation. And then before I go on to the detectives, I also want to recognize the Parks Department and thank the mayor and Laura Alvarado. They were recognized by HJC for the Wetland Center and the Park Trails Program. And they had submitted 4 awards. They were recognized, and they are doing great things. And this was a very large contingent of the region that had shown up, and happy that we are doing things where we are recognized and standing above our peers. And so, Cornell, Amy, please pass that on to the Parks team, and appreciate all that's happening out there as well. And Mayor and Laura, thank you for showing up and being there as well. And finally, detectives from a Special Investigations Division developed actionable intelligence. Y'all can tell a cop wrote this, right? Developed actionable intelligence and conducted a planned surveillance operation on a suspect connected to 3 armed robberies. It's like reading a Hardy Boys book or something.
Right.
I'm wondering
all those syllables.
I wonder where's the Law and Order music behind it?
During the operation, the suspect committed another armed robbery and fled in the victim's vehicle. Through the coordinated efforts of detectives, Officers Richter and Jackson, and a K-9 unit, the suspect was apprehended after attempting to flee on foot. You don't go against the K-9s. They're going to win. This arrest highlights the outstanding teamwork and dedication of our police department, so keep up the great work. And is this the same one where after he was arrested, he also we also found other ones that he was attached to? So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, good work all around. Thank you, Mayor and Council. That's all I have.
You know, I want to say something about Mr. Holmes and Mrs. Blanca. To say that you were traveling and you came upon something unexpected of that nature is amazing, to say that you rescued 2 people. People are going to say that superheroes wear capes. I'm going to say superheroes work in public works right here in Baytown. So thank you for stepping up, stepping out, and I'm pretty sure the 2 individuals whose lives you all saved are very thankful and are praying for you all every night. So just thank you for representing Baytown in a great way. That's amazing that you all did that. They wear yellow vests. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Now we will have council member district report from Mrs. Sarah Graham.
Howdy, guys. District 2 continues to see some new business development. Bay Terrace Apartments is still being renovated, along with Pause and Go over off of North Main. Also, there's going to be a new Venue 132 reception hall on Texas Avenue. Excited to see that finishing up construction. Some rental units are being remodeled over on West Pierce. And then the Lee College Cosmetology, I've talked about that a few times. Their lab is still undergoing a remodel, and I think they're hoping to open sooner than later. And then also Rundell Hall over at Lee College is also still being renovated. The big topic for the past year has been the West Texas Avenue drainage improvements, which has shut down portions of Texas Avenue and some of the other streets parallel in the area. And I just wanted to say that it is on schedule. In fact, they're estimating a little bit ahead of schedule. And it looks like it will be completed by Q2. That's the second quarter, so coming up late spring of this year. I know some people, some of the citizens in the area, they're like, it's been going on for 5 years. It actually just started in December of 2024. So we're at, 14 months or so. I just think because it's at such a busy intersection for the college and other areas, it feels a little longer, but great news, it's on schedule, and, we'll blink and quarter 2 will be here and that road will be opened back up and hopefully traffic flowing, but with new drainage. So that's good news. And then the traffic division will be straightening signs, refreshing stop bars on Lee Drive, and updating railroad crossing markings on Market Street. That was a mouthful. I also I wanted to take this time to tell one of my colleagues, Franco, he has just taken a lot of time to help me with some things in D2, and he's got a lot going on over there in D4, and I just wanted to publicly acknowledge you for really helping me with several things going on. So thank you very much. It takes all of us up here to try to get all the things taken care of that are important to the citizens. And so thank you all for being such good teammates and looking out for everybody here in Baytown. So, thank you.
That's it. Well, I got good news. We're not having an executive session tonight. Having exhausted everything on this agenda, I now adjourn this meeting at 7:51 p.m. What?
Baytown, Texas, a global industry powerhouse. It's thanks to you, the hoteliers, restaurateurs, and budding businesses, the lifeblood that keeps our community moving.
There's a big diversity of people moving to Baytown. So that's why I feel like there's a lot of opportunity, whether you're looking for posh, high-end businesses or local businesses that are more of a necessity for the population.
And it shows in the numbers. Travel supports one of every 10 jobs in Baytown. In 2023 alone, travelers spent nearly $253 million here. That's up 6.5% from the year before. Our tourism partners help us create jobs, save our citizens tax dollars, and keep local businesses thriving. Visitors generated almost $20 million in state and local funding